Gypsy Rose Blanchard just dropped a bombshell TikTok live that's got everyone talking. From spilling tea about her boyfriend Ken to sharing the first ever photo of their baby, she left no stone unturned. But that's not all. Gypsy didn't shy away from addressing her stepmom Kristy's controversial comments, calling out content creators, and opening up about the pressure of balancing life as a new mom with her skyrocketing TikTok fame. This live session was packed with drama, heartfelt moments, and plenty of surprises. Let's break down everything Gypsy revealed. You're not going to want to miss this. Gypsy and Ken are keeping the internet buzzing. Just a few days ago, Gypsy went live with her friend Bree on TikTok, spilling some heartwarming tea about their newborn daughter. From proud dad moments to media buzz, there's a lot to unpack in this adorable family update. Let's dive into all the details. The duo chatted candidly, and Gypsy dropped a sweet tidbit about Ken's excitement over their daughter's arrival. According to Gypsy, Ken was so overjoyed he couldn't wait to share the news with the world, posting a birth announcement on Instagram. The proud parents chose to keep their baby girl's face private, but agreed on sharing a picture to mark the special moment. The post had fans swooning, and Gypsy even revealed that TMZ reached out to Ken for a comment. However, she made it clear that Ken didn't sit down for an interview. He simply gave a brief statement, sharing that their daughter is happy and healthy.
I love how Ken put out, him and the baby. Like not
There was a lot of debate about that, actually.
Yeah, I love the way he did it. He did it such a classy way. Like, y'all are no one because I think a lot of people expected tabloid or something to be the first one to put it out. And y'all did it like just normal people,
Well, we had a conversation and we kept going back and forth because there was a little bit of miscommunication between him and I.
Wait, did Ken and Gypsy just have a major baby announcement mix-up? You won't believe the story behind this. It all started when Ken dropped a bombshell about their daughter's birth, and Gypsy was shocked by what he actually meant. But trust, things got way more awkward than either of them expected. Here's the deal. Gypsy thought Ken was talking about making a huge announcement, maybe even a full-on feature in People magazine, especially since she's been in the public eye for so long. She was ready for the spotlight moment. But when she asked Ken for the details, the truth came out. He wasn't planning anything nearly that big. Turns out, Ken was just talking about posting a sweet photo of their little one on Instagram. Yep, that was it. A simple social media post. Can you imagine the awkwardness when she realized? Talk about setting the stage for a major misunderstanding.
In my mind, announcement like People magazine or something like that. And so I was like a hardcore no. I was like, no, we're not announcing. Why? Like our family, our friends know. Why does the world have to know? And so it wasn't until he's like, I just want to post a picture on my Instagram. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, first of all, which one? Because I don't want to show her because I was very, protective, and I still am very protective. So I was like, I want to make sure that we agree on the picture. He's like, do you want me to tag you in it? I'm like, no. This is, and essentially this is what you want to do. It's your Instagram. I'm not going to tell you how to run your Instagram. All I'm going to say is my input on which picture that I think we could both come to an agreement on. To where it's still protecting her, but you can still have your moment to where you can announce as a proud father. And so once we had an understanding about that, then he posted the picture. Me, on the other hand, I'm still not going to post a picture. I don't even post pictures on my private Facebook. Like TMZ and all those media stuff, like they follow our social media platforms. So when we post something on our social media, then mainstream media picks up afterwards.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that because I know some people had said like they did an interview, and I'm like, no, they didn't.
No.
I was like, that's why it only says Ken said their baby's healthy and they're very happy. And
yeah, so TMZ did reach out to Ken and wanted a comment. They were going to print the article regardless of
anything. This was a short and simple comment.
Yeah, exactly. So he's like, the baby's healthy, we're happy, all is good.
When Gypsy and Ken became proud parents, their first big move after welcoming their baby wasn't what her fans expected. Instead of rushing to share the news with their followers, the couple decided to keep this milestone private for a few days. Their reason? To savor the moment as a family without the distractions of social media. While many supporters applauded this decision, others were quick to question the sudden silence, sparking a wave of speculation online. But the real buzz started when Gypsy made a public plea, addressing creators like Nina, Ivory Rose Grows Wild, and Conspiracy. In her message, she urged them to ease up on the constant commentary about her life and instead focus on spreading peace. For Gypsy, this wasn't just about shutting down the noise. It was about protecting her growing family from the endless drama that often comes with online fame. Still, fans can't help but point out the irony in the situation. If these creators' content causes so much stress, why does Gypsy keep watching their videos? It's a question that's fueling even more debate in her community, with some sympathizing with her plight and others questioning her choices.
After she was born, if we were able to keep it hush hush, not because I wanted to hide anything, but I was like, I want us to actually be happy in this moment and not have to worry about Nina said this or conspiracy said that or Ivory Rose Grows Wild said that in this rumor.
Y'all
We
wanted
wanted
time for
to have
the just y'all.
peace. Yes, we wanted to have a moment to actually be normal as people and be happy in the moment at the birth of our child.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if to have a few days of just calm peace with nothing being said was the goal.
It all started when Gypsy shared a conversation with her stepmom, Kristy, that left her feeling deeply unsettled. According to Gypsy, Kristy suggested they sell the first picture of the baby to make some quick cash. Her reasoning? Paparazzi or a random passerby might snap a picture anyway once the baby was seen in public. While some might see this as a savvy business move, Gypsy was anything but thrilled. She made it clear that the idea of exploiting her child for profit didn't sit right with her. The suggestion hit a nerve, sparking a heartfelt conversation between the two. Ultimately, Gypsy stood her ground, letting Kristy know that while she can't control what others might do, she would never personally profit off her baby's image. It's safe to say this mom has her priorities straight.
Kristy, she was like, I got offended, but then we had a conversation because she was like, somebody's gonna get it realistically. One day when y'all are out and about, somebody's gonna get a picture of the baby. And I'm like, she's like, well, you should sell it. That way, if somebody's gonna make money off of it, should be you and not some rando. And I got really offended and a little upset with her over it. And I'm like, absolutely not. There is a huge difference between if somebody takes a picture where I'm not even aware we're at the park. Let's just say we're at the park. Somebody snaps a picture of us walking through the park. I can't control what other people do. That's just the unfortunate reality of it. But I can control what I do. And I make the choice to not exploit my child. So.
Right. And I know at the end of the day, she obviously never meant it
that way, but the way it came out was just
that would have yeah, exactly. That's what the world would have viewed it as well.
Mm-hmm.
She's a new mom, but don't expect Gypsy to turn into your go-to mommy vlogger anytime soon. In a bold move, she's made it clear that she has zero plans of diving into the world of parenting content. Why? Let's just say she's not buying into the endless sea of advice already flooding the internet. Gypsy admitted that as a new mom, she feels there's already more than enough parenting info out there. She doesn't believe she could offer anything groundbreaking or truly beneficial to the masses. No hot tips or parenting secrets up her sleeve. So, for now, it looks like she's keeping the focus on other areas of her life, far from the mommy vlogger spotlight.
I saw a couple of videos that are circulating around that there's this rumor that Kristy's taking care of Aurora, which is completely untrue. I'm like, I'm watching these videos, having 4 hours of sleep, getting up every 2 hours to feed her, change her. Like, I do everything, with the exception of Ken helping, of course. Like, we take shifts, and if I change her, kennel feed her. You know, we're doing the best we can as parents, and we're doing pretty good.
No, I'm
Like,
proud of you.
I'm like, I don't ask Kristy to take her and do everything. You know, Kristy is there in case I need her, but for the most part, I'm rocking it, and I as they say, I'm just doing the damn thing. Like, I've got my big girl panties on. I'm a mom now, and I'm taking my responsibilities seriously. But you know, nobody sees that stuff. So
Gypsy just let us in on a little secret. When it comes to navigating this whole motherhood thing, her best friend isn't a parenting guru or a supermom figure. It's Google. Yep, you heard that right. Gypsy revealed that she's been diving into a few parenting books to get prepared for her new chapter. But it doesn't stop there. Her partner Ken, he's got his own collection of books on hand, ready to jump in whenever they need advice. But here's the kicker. If they hit a parenting roadblock and they don't know what to do, they're Googling it. Google is there to help them figure it all out, no questions asked. Sounds like a pretty tech-savvy way to handle motherhood, right? It's like combining the best of both worlds. Old school wisdom with today's high-tech convenience. Honestly, who needs to stress when you've got Google in your corner? What do you think about this parenting strategy?
And Ken is
he is. He's
one of the
been
most
so
amazing men I've ever met.
wonderful. He's been so wonderful and supportive. Like, I really am just blown back, and that just makes me more in love with him, is to like see him with her and how he plays with her and holds her and comforts her. And you know, I've never seen this side of him, and so it's really like, it touches my heart just to kind of see that, you know, that side to him that is, you know, a parent now.
When Bree brought up the topic of fame, Gypsy didn't hold back. She straight up admitted that it's not as glamorous as people make it out to be. While many dream of the perks that come with being a social media sensation, Gypsy pointed out that having millions of followers doesn't equal happiness. She made a shocking confession. With 9 million eyes constantly watching her every move, it feels more like a burden than a blessing. Could the pressure of fame be too much to handle?
No, I was actually like, I mean, even my messages with the hacker, I was like, you know, I was gonna delete it, deactivate it in a couple months anyway. You know, I accepted that if I lost this account, I accepted that, hey, it's gone. And you know what? Good riddance, because
Right?
the burden of having 9.8, you know, million opinions and eyes on you, it is extremely stressful, and it is a burden. And you know, I keep it open because it's like, a lot of family and friends have been like, you know, you can't come across this kind of following. So I accepted it if it was gone for good. uh, uh I have Ken to thank for helping me get it back,
Awesome.
because I'm terrible at like tech savvy stuff. I'm not tech savvy. So he was able to help me go through who I need to contact with TikTok, make a troubleshoot ticket or whatever, and let them know my account's been hacked, and he was able to help me get it back. But essentially, I was totally fine with it if it was gone. Now, am I happy I got it back just to prove a point that it's not okay for people to behave that the way they did whenever it was being hacked, with wanting to buy the account and everything like that, and the haters just absolutely loving it.
Right.
How could you expect to be, you know, preach karma and be like, oh, this is Gypsy's karma? No, it's not. Because guess what? If this account was gone, I would have been happy. I would have been fine with it.
Gypsy has officially turned the tables on her so-called haters, and it's safe to say the clapback was one for the books. After finally getting her TikTok account back, She took to her stories with a message that left everyone shook. Y'all remember when the hacker was getting all those live gifts from my haters? She posted, "Well, I just got my payout. Thanks to all my haters. Talk about turning a loss into a win." For context, when the hacker had control of Gypsy's TikTok, they were going live and racking up gifts sent by Gypsy's critics. The last number we heard from experts was around $300. Yes, you read that right. $300 in gifts just sitting in her account. But Gypsy's crew spread out some rumors that she had actually made $16,000, which we for sure know that sum is fake, as we exposed in our previews video. But still, even with only $300 for now, it looks like Gypsy's the one laughing all the way to the bank. It's a move no one saw coming. At least she can get a week's worth of diapers for her baby Aurora.
Is the fact that the hacker went live again and again and again, and people were just gifting the account, and they were gifting the hacker, being like a stick it to Gypsy type of thing. And then I get my account back, and all those live gifts goes to me.
Yeah, I did a video about that today.
That's just funny.
Someone was like, she paid the hacker. I'm like, what? She got reimbursed? She got reimbursed her money on the live gifts? I was like, what sense does that make?
No, it's just the point that,
it's not okay. And people
it's not okay to act that way. It's just not. I mean, that
was the former. It came back before Wednesday, which is payday.
Right.
So no one should be gifting. Basically, like, say if you wouldn't have gotten it back, all they're doing is getting scammed out of money. This is a hacker. Just like people that were trying to pay him for that account.
They knew this guy was a scammer, and they're still talking to him, and they're still gifting him. And I'm like, I'm watching, and because I was watching from Kristy's phone, and we were just watching it all together, and I'm like, grab the popcorn. This is a freaking shit show right now. And we're just watching baffled, and there was nothing I could do at the time but wait for TikTok to respond to me. But I'm like, the thing is, it's like, if you're able to get through to TikTok and actually talk to someone, it's your account. So you could easily give TikTok your information to get the account back. I told the hacker, I'm like, I'm going to get my account back. And he's like, give me $400. I'm like, no, am I going to buy my own account back from you? That's crazy.
Right. And then no. And I know some of the messages that were put out were fake. And then
the messages that I don't know what it was. It was like a separate account or whatever. But there was so many fake messages that were supposedly from me and Ryan. They were crazy messages too. I
know, it was so funny. The comment on Conspiracy's video. No shit, they're fake. Because that's what I was saying.
I know. I was like, no shit, they're fake. Clearly.
Because they posted the real ones first, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So the ones that you had put out were his messages to me. And then right before our divorce, I had reached out to him because I really just kind of wanted a closure conversation. He keeps saying that it's really hard for him to move on whenever the last thing he had seen was me walking out the door. And so I was like, I reached out to him, and I had talked to Ken. I talked to my dad. I talked to my sister. I talked to Kristy. I literally talked to everybody within my close circle and asked them, is this a good idea? How do you feel about it? I talked to Ken about it thoroughly. Ken said that if it brought me and him closure, he was completely fine with it. He didn't have a problem with that. If it helped us move on and helped us grow as people, he was fine with it. So I think it's funny that people were like, ooh, I wonder what juicy messages are in there. And I'm like, okay, literally, there's nothing in there that I would be ashamed of people seeing.
I know. They wanted to see yours and Ryan's, yours and Ken's, and yours and mine. Okay. That's what everybody wanted to see. I was like, there's nothing in any of those, videos, sharing videos. You and Ryan was really short. And then wait, the question of the hour, because he didn't end up going to court though, right?
No, he waived his right to go, so it was just me that went, and he never responded to my message to him. But his mom and I are still on good terms. Um, Joy is a really sweet woman, and
He
so
seems like it.
she is, and so she just kind of relayed to me that it would have been too hard for him to have a face to face with me on the day of the divorce. And I totally respected that. So,
Okay, because he said no comment when someone asked him if y'all had seen each other.
well, we didn't. We didn't.
Because you're like, I'll make it clear.
Well, I'll make it clear we didn't. But it's okay. You know, I hope
Maybe
that,
one day y'all will, but
yeah, I'm just hoping that like
he's able to move on and heal.
he's able to heal.
Is Gypsy Rose Blanchard about to turn a new page in her life? After everything she's been through, it looks like she's finally ready to take on a fresh challenge. Gypsy shared that she's been seriously considering cosmetology school, a major step toward independence and rebuilding her future. But there's a catch. She's still on parole, and no school options are available in her current location. Gypsy is keeping her options open, checking out a few schools, but the final decision won't be made until her parole restrictions are lifted. Will Gypsy finally get the chance to live life on her own terms, or will her past continue to shape her future?
Like if you decide to, just
I wanted to do it because they had the cosmetology program in Chillicothe. But whenever COVID happened, they had shut everything down because of 6 feet apart and all that stuff, social distancing. So
it's really not a long program, you know?
it's a year.
Yeah, so it's not that long compared to if like normal college, for a year.
Right. And there's part-time, there's full-time, and there's part-time.
Yeah.
I'd probably do the part-time considering, Aurora. So
Can you imagine going through labor without feeling a single thing? Well, that's exactly what Gypsy is claiming happened during her birth experience. Yep, you heard that right. She says she felt absolutely nothing thanks to the magic of an epidural. In fact, Gypsy went on to say she feels so blessed to have had the smoothest, most pain-free labor, crediting the epidural for working perfectly. For anyone who's heard the horror stories about childbirth pain, this is a major plot twist. But wait, can it really be that easy? Gypsy's experience seems almost too good to be true, especially when you hear the usual tales of grueling, hours-long labor pains. She even said that with the epidural, she didn't feel a thing during the entire process, which is probably the kind of luck most women wish for. Is it the epidural that made her experience so painless, or was she just lucky?
yeah, girl, when I tell you, I am so blessed to have the birth experience that I did because I did not feel a thing. The epidural worked absolutely like wonders. And, you watch movies where, the women are screaming and it's like, push and all that stuff. That was not my experience.
Well, I know you had to press that button again because when you had first told me you got it, I was like, you had a long ways before she came.
Yeah.
I was like, so poor.
I took a 2-hour nap because I had, yeah, I had, I went in at 6 centimeters dilated, and then they gave me the epidural, and then they put the catheter in because they're like, you're not going to be able to have control over your bladder. So they put the catheter in, and they did all that after the epidural. So I didn't feel none of that. 4 hours later, I was still only 6 centimeters. So they had given me Pitocin to kind of speed things up a little bit.
Right.
And then I took like a 2-hour nap. And then I wake up from my 2-hour nap. They check my cervix. I'm 10 centimeters dilated. And they're like, okay, my doctor's like, it's time to push. And I'm like, my eyes got so big. Chris can't even tell you that my eyes got so big because I'm like, oh my God, here it comes.
Was it just Ken in there with you?
Ken was in there. Yeah, Ken was in there.
I'm saying, was it just Ken?
Yeah, it was just Ken. We talked about it, and I know that we had said, oh, Mia might be in there with us, Kristy might be in there with us. But then when it came down to it, then Ken was like, okay, this is a moment for us, so we kind of kicked everybody out. I was at 36 in 3 days.
So almost at 7. Yeah. So she was like a little bit later, but not much, like by a few days.
I asked her pediatrician, I was like, because of her coming early, does she the milestones that apply to a full term apply to her as well? And her pediatrician was like, yes, like the milestones, like because she was so close to being, you know, 37 weeks, 30, you know, whatever, 38 weeks is like considered full term, I guess. So because there's that so close, the milestones that a full term would experience applies to her too.
So, what do you think about everything Gypsy revealed? Are you shocked by her honesty? Or do you think she's just being real? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm dying to know what you all think. And hey, if you want to stay updated on all the latest influencer drama and headlines, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.